have an albinism in the society, that's a curse. And others have this other saying that when you have a person with the albinism, you have to use them for riches. We have seen person with albinism being sacrificed. Some of them, they cut off their hair, their heads, just to get rich. That's for our society. But the right thing we are yet to know. Welcome to the life I live. The life I live. My name is Susan Aworio on UBC. Today I'm down here in Kamwokya where I have a friend. She's my friend actually. I have a friend who is a person with albinism. So we are going to try to talk about who is this other person with albinism. Some of us just think when an albinism is out there, we are supposed to mock them, use them for riches, or kufuna obugaga mu bwangu. And some other parents also know when you have an albinism, they're supposed to be behind the curtain. But for her, she's not behind the curtain because she's my friend. Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Nervous.
You're fine, eh?
I'll be fine.
That's good. You're going to introduce yourself. I don't want to say your name out to someone. I want you to tell someone your names and something brief about you.
Okay. Well, I'm a little nervous, but it's okay. My name is Madiina. I am a student at Makerere University Business School in my first year, and I'm 21 years old.
You're 21
Stay
years.
in Kamwokya.
You stay in Kamwokya. Okay, Madiina, you know person with albinism don't interact with sun. That is true?
Yes, it
You're
is.
not good at moving at sun, not so?
Yeah.
How do you handle this? First, let's start with that.
I actually have an organization that has been giving me sunblock lotion, and then I put on a hat most of the time when I'm going out in the sun, and I as well apply the sunblock lotion, and I'm always in long sleeve clothes. I
So
know-
this prevents you from the sun?
Yes, definitely. It does.
Okay, let's get back to the childhood Madiina. Let's start from Madiina who was a child. Who was this Madiina?
She was a very stubborn girl way back in school, and she would bring a lot of headache actually to people. And I remember way back in my primary, I was so naughty, very naughty. And as this person who could interact with people. And then when I bring you back here, where I grew up in Kamwokya, I was this person actually who is known by everyone. Sometimes you would find people on the way and they're like, Madiina, whom you don't even know about.
Did they know you because you're a person with albinism, or they had to just know you because you're stubborn?
No, actually I was the only white girl in Kamwokya back then. So everyone's eyes would be set
On you.
Yes. To see this person who is
So
different.
first,
from
let me
them.
know the feeling. Everyone now knows Madiina. You're a celeb mukatundu. Everyone knows you. How was the feeling back then?
Back then, okay, it was somehow somewhere okay, but then there are these little children who I would find on the way,
And they
even
would-
some older people actually, and some of them would use offensive words like, there's a local word they use, namagwe, so that was offensive, but with time, I got used to it.
You got used to it.
Yeah.
Okay, now you're in Kamwokya. We all know Kamwokya. People think Kamwokya is for the ghetto. People in Kamwokya are spoiled. Now Madiina is a Namagoya, that people say Namagoya, that was not right for you. At least they would just say the Muzungu. For us in our village back there, we say there is a Muzungu in the area.
Yeah, actually some would call me Muzungu, the little kids Muzungu.
So the Muzungu part of it to me, it would feel more better and you feel, okay, if I'm a Muzungu, then I'm the only Muzungu in the area.
Definitely, a white African actually.
Madiina, let's look at life at home, at school at the same time. You get home and school. How far was school and home?
Actually, not very far. It was a very walkable distance.
Just within here where we are.
Like is it 1 kilometer? What? I don't know how to relate the two, but it's not so far actually. It's like from here back to where? I don't know. But it's not far. Yeah,
It's not far.
It was very
So how
near.
were you handling life then? Was this organization that giving you hats now and oil there by that time? or they have just come in?
No, they've been there in my life so much.
Eh,
Actually, they are the reasons I'm in school.
so if it wasn't for them, Madiina wouldn't be at school.
Definitely, that's what I
Definitely.
think. Yes.
Okay, let's look at home, Madiina. You have siblings?
No, I don't.
You only born one. One mom, one dad, one child.
Yes,
Your father doesn't have any other child, your mother doesn't have any other child.
they had, but when I was growing, they told me they died, so I didn't see them personally.
Okay. We all know albinism is inherited. It's a gene.
Yes.
So who of the two was an albinism or had anyone in the side of them that had the gene?
Actually, none.
None.
Yeah. I've never heard of any.
Not even gran, eh?
No, I've not heard of such a story that.
Okay, let's look at growing home. Mommy passed on when you're just born. You didn't see her. So who took you up when mom passed on?
The sisters to her, to my mother, they're the ones who brought me up. They've been taking care of me. They've nurtured me. They've been there in my life, actually.
They've been there.
Yeah.
So you said earlier you don't know how mommy looks.
Yeah, I
Then
don't.
dad?
Dad passed on when I had a week to my final exams in Form 6, 2018.
Yes. So where was dad then that the mother's side had to take you?
Dad used to stay in industrial area and he would work there. But I would go visit him often and he gives us something, some money
And support?
and support to take care of my needs. And I didn't want to stay with him, not because I don't like him, but it was boring because he was living alone. He didn't have anyone, he didn't have a wife. So I would find a lot of joy
Staying
with
with
my-
these aunties?
with my aunties because we are many in the family, they're cousins. So I would interact a lot with them. And I would go spend something like 2 days and then with my father and then come back home.
Okay, Madiina, you're going to take me through the challenges you face as a person with albinism. Some of these challenges, I've seen you being covered up of an organization that helps you get the oil. Let's look at someone out there. You have friends under your society, not so? You have them that may not have that chance. I want you to take me through some of the challenges despite being helped, but there are those smaller ones you face as a person with albinism.
Well, the challenges are quite many because I would take you back in primary and in secondary school. The challenges I would face because as the only person with albinism in all the schools I've gone to, the first problem is segregation. Some students didn't want to interact with me, and even other people in the society, they were scared of me. I used to think that when, like, you sitting near me, you sitting next to me, you definitely,
Become an albinism.
exactly. So that's what people actually used to think, and they still think that for now. There are a lot of organizations that have come up, but
To
there
do-
is still
To create
do I say?
awareness for person
Exactly.
with albinism.
Yes, and of course, stigmatization. I don't know if at some point I've felt stigmatized, but I'm not speaking about myself personally, but I'm as well speaking for other persons with albinism out there who don't have an opportunity to come and speak out what they feel, I mean, what they go through. And when we go to the employment world, it's quite different. I personally have not faced that. I don't know, but some people don't want to work with us just because we have albinism. They think we can't do it. They think we cannot be the best, like when you're given a task to perform it. I
Which is
personally
wrong.
have, which is wrong actually, because we can go to school, we can become some people in the future, we can be great actually.
Okay. The word great makes me come back to you and be like, yes, They are great and they can be great. Not just great. We have seen person with albinism make it. I have a friend, he's a CEO, guy has made it, but he's a person with albinism.
Wow.
And I know one day he'll come and tell me his story, though I won't share it on camera. So to my dear society out there, you lose nothing to give anyone a right and a hand. We are still with Madiina, who is a person with albinism. There is this other saying, Madiina, person with albinism are used to get rich. Have you heard of that?
Of course I have.
You have,
I only forgot to talk about it.
Okay, now let's look at life. You're born in Kamwokya. You're the only brown child. You're the Muzungu child in the society. Weren't you scared at some point, like someone would come and cut off your nail and go and perform what she or he wants?
I was, because I remember back then when I was still trimming my hair in primary, something like P4, P3, P2, P1, when I could go to the salon to trim off my hair, my aunties would always tell me, don't leave your hair in the salon, because I was scared of such misconceptions that someone might get it and use it to perform
Anything you want.
witchcraft kind of stuff. So I would, every time I would go to the salon to trim off my hair, I would come back with it at home. I don't know where they used to put it actually, but all I knew
But you
is,
would bring it with you,
yes,
don't leave it
I had
there.
to. But with time, I was like, these are just misconceptions.
But
This
people do
isn't
it.
real. But people do it actually.
People do it.
People do it. Only
We're
that
just lucky that no one used that against you.
Yeah.
Or no one thought about there's one albinism at Kamwokya, at Yeri downtown, at Oyo Mwangu. Jukira, this is this other area where someone can just come and act like they're your friend and does this.
Yeah.
At the end of it, you're judging, someone is trying to be caring, and all you see is someone has taken a tip of your hair. So let's just thank God that no one did that to you.
But I think if you know God, I personally don't believe in witchcraft, though it's there, but I knew God ever since I was a child. So even if someone took it, a piece from my head, I'm sure it wouldn't do me any bad thing because I had
Nothing.
God in me
That's
who
good.
would fight for me.
That's good. Let's look at the eye lenses, which is vision. Person with albinism have problem with their eyes, not so? You guys cannot see far, you cannot see near. Which one is right?
We can't see far.
You can't see far. Which is...
But it's different actually. We have different optical issues. There are some persons with albinism that are my friends that we've grown up with in the same organization, and some of them have this issue, like they can't, how do I say it?
They can't see near.
They can't see near.
I'm
They
just
cannot
here,
see far.
and I'm not sure if I'm on black, this is Susan, or she's not Susan. But then there are those who can see far.
Yeah,
The one who
they
cannot see
are.
near sees far, and the one who cannot see far sees near.
Yeah,
Is that right?
definitely. That's right.
Okay, let's look at Madiina. You see far, you see near.
Near.
So if I'm very far from you, you're not going to spot me.
It depends.
Let's
Maybe
look
when you're very far, I can't.
very. Yeah, so if I met you in town, I have to be so very close. Or you-
Something like that.
Okay, let's look at the class. How do you attend classes? You be so near to the desk, or you're this other backbencher who makes alarm at the front, like, Tisha, can I hear you, please?
Of course, I would love to make that at some point, but I can't because I can't see from far. So I used to
So
sit
you just be in the first
in the
there.
first
You
desk.
find yourself in the
Yes.
front. You're doing business. And you know, in the business world, people here are not so good with person with albinism. You said early in employment sector, you're not given that opportunity. What do you think after school?
I think I would be given one
You'll be given
because I
one.
believe in myself.
In your society or any other organization?
Any other organization,
No,
I
other
can
organization.
compete.
You can, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, no, so that's so good. I'm still with Madiina and I'm going for a break. When I get back, we still have more and more. And you're still on UBC. Don't even dare touch your remote. Yes, we are back and I'm still with Madiina, the only Mzungu in the area. Now, Madiina, everyone has a talent in life.
Yes.
You also have a talent, not so? What are you
Yes, I
good at
do.
that someone out there would want to know? What is Madiina good at? Is she a netballer, footballer? You know girls also play football,
Yeah, they
not
do.
so?
They do.
Yes. Can she run? Is she the next Kiprotich of the Uganda?
Well, I'm good. My talent is singing.
You sing, eh? So that means you're going to give me a sample of any of your song.
Seriously. Not any of my songs, because I don't have any.
But you just love singing.
I just love singing.
And you can sing.
Yes, it's the other part of me that I can't live without.
Hey,
Yeah.
so who is your best artist out there? Maybe the hashtag can reach this other person and they're like, okay, I have Madiina and she likes me, this and this.
I think it's Alicia Keys.
No, we're talking about Uganda.
Oh, Uganda.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Rema.
Rema Namakula.
Yes.
So she's
And
your
radio, the
favorite.
late radio.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's look at life. We all have that one story in life. Either sad, good, but you have that one story that you cannot forget about yourself, or that one experience. Do you have one that you be there and be like, if I had kids tomorrow, I would tell them, once upon a time in 2021, there was COVID. And in this COVID time, I found myself this and this. Man, it was funny. And that is the story.
Okay. Well, I have a sad story when I lost my dad. It was actually one of the hardest things in my life that has ever happened. Because way back in school, I was this girl who was never mad, smiling, happy with everyone. And I remember one time I was suspended because of laughing too much in class.
You would overlaugh.
Definitely, yeah.
And you pass by, there's this laughing. There's a woman I know who laughs on TV and be like,
Don't
I always want to
really.
copy that laughing style, so that
I would laugh a lot, but then life changed a lot when I lost my dad, because me and him had a lot of dreams. When I was young, he would always tell me, Madiina, you've grown up in a slum. I don't have a lot of money, but he would take care of me with a little that he had, and he would make a lot of promises that when life gets better and he gets a lot of money, he would definitely have to build a big house and we live there together happily.
maybe he gets another woman
He didn't
and you
tell
be
me
a
about
full
that.
family. Of course.
Like the sea meets every shore, not an if but.
I think every person has that worst experience losing someone close. I also have that worst experience when I lost my sister. To me, she has everything. She has everything. So when someone says, I have that worst experience losing a dad, we all know that would be the worst, and I'll always understand because all of us, that's the way, there's a saying that's the way, but who goes there first matters. Yes, Madiina, let's look at the good part of it because every other person has that one part that you felt at least I can celebrate it still in my life.
I don't think there's a good part of it really.
You've never had that one story for yourself that is either good. Let's look at school when you
I've not still
performed.
about my dad. Well, I've had a lot of amazing stories, good stories, and I would start with the biggest. It was when I had a presidential handshake.
With president.
Yes.
That's my dream.
Really?
You're living.
Oh my God.
I'm dreaming of that. At least one day, I just even salute God when Museveni is there and I'm here.
Well,
I'd be
I
like,
had a presidential handshake. I should connect you to him actually.
please.
Well, it was way back when I finished my Form 6. My parents didn't have the money to push me to campus. So here came an opportunity in my hometown. And have you ever heard of the presidential initiative on skilling the girls?
Yes.
Yeah, so I didn't have a job, though I tried to make applications in different places.
And all failed.
Yes, and not actually, it didn't fail, but I'll come to that. So as I was still dropping the applications, I got an opportunity. So they were like, they're skilling the girls in different
Ways like
How do I call it?
I remember that time. Are you talking about this other time when President came up and said he's giving those who want to do tailoring, hairdressing?
Exactly. Hand skills, different hairdressing.
But it's still on. I
bakery.
think because of
It's still
COVID,
on,
it paused.
Yeah, it's still on. So I had to opt for one. I went and did that pastry and confectionery. I went and did it. It was for a course of 6 months. And then I finished it in June 2019, because I started in 2018 Form 6, and then 2019 I went for that. And in the long run, when we had something like a month to the graduation, because it was in Kololo Airstrip, at Kololo Airstrip, sorry. So they had to look for a girl to give a speech on behalf of
All other girls.
all other girls. So it's really big. It combines a lot of girls together, a lot of people together. So at that time, the manager was like, I really need a girl who is bold
Confidence enough.
and confident enough. I mean, who can
Speak out for
in
girls.
front of all those big people that you know, the ministers and everything.
The president and
Yes.
everyone.
So I was this person who was stubborn, I think. But she ran after me. She was like, I want you. I was like,
Why me?
really? I mean, why me? And why are you choosing? And she's like, I want you. Because I know you can. So I was like, whoa.
This means she believed in you.
She did actually. Me, and I had to write my speech and try to.
You wrote it
compile
yourself?
it. Yes, I did. I wrote the speech and then I had to take it to the airstrip so that I can go through it and
See if it's worthy or there's something to
Yeah.
be polished.
if they need to make some supplements. And then when I took it there, the manager had actually wrote hers and she wanted me to present hers.
Yes.
But then they first went through my speech and then they compared with hers. And guess what? My speech came out the best.
Wow.
It definitely had
I don't know
to
how
be
that feels, eh?
Oh my
and
God. I was
someone
like,
is like, yours is the best and you have to do this for yourself.
You know, so they didn't actually make any
Like any changes.
changes. They did not.
Everything was that.
Was just perfect. I was like, oh my God, is this really happening? So she was like, she called me and she was like, Madiina, how are you? I'm like, I'm okay. So are you ready? Tomorrow? I'm like, yes, I'm ready. But in my heart, I knew I don't have anything. I don't have a dress. I don't have
And you have to
shoes,
be
the heels.
smart.
And you know, you have to be smart. I didn't even have money to make my hair. But then I had Swahili kind of stuff in my head. So she was like, you know what, come to the airstrip. And we went in the car together. We went to town and she bought me a fancy dress and
Oh, that's nice.
heels. And she gave me a lot of cash to make my hair and just look good for that special day, you know. I was going to give a speech on behalf of all the girls. So I had to really look good for that. And here comes to the day when I had to make the speech. So they had to call me, but I was really nervous, honestly. I had never made a speech in front of such a huge number of people, thousands and thousands of people. So my name was called, the student leader to come and give a speech on behalf of the students. I was like, oh my God.
How am I going to do it? Okay, let's look at that moment. Nga bakugambye, come and have a handshake with the president. Over ku stage waggulu, huh?
Oh my, just know, it was like I was dreaming.
And you're like, am I myself? Is this the president?
But indeed, it was reality. I started to even pinch myself. I was like, is this real?
Wake up.
Is this real? Madiina, wake up. This is not happening. But it was happening there and then.
So you went and had a
I
handshake.
went and had a handshake. We had pictures together with the president.
Oh God,
Just
I'm
know it was-
dreaming.
Oh
me
my
up also.
God.
And just that moment. The day I'll take a photo with Museveni,
You
I'll
have
sleep.
no
The
idea.
girl,
like,
I'll sleep.
a girl from the slums having the
Yes,
presidential
children,
handshake? Really? So from that moment, I knew that anything can
happen.
I actually could tell my siblings that, Mamuli Wano, you guys, I'll have a presidential handshake. Just
Like
what I'm
you
saying.
believed.
Like I had that crazy confidence in me.
That one day, even if
Yeah.
it is what Museveni jamukwata mu
Me,
ngalo.
I've grown up believing in myself most of the time. Even when I finished, before I even finished Form 6, I would tell my cousins that, you guys, do you know that my first job will be an office job? They say, I won't hustle. I won't hustle. I'm telling you. And indeed it was that. My first job was an office job. And then having a presidential handshake. I mean, it's just a beautiful experience that even when I get sad, it's those moments that I make flashbacks on that put a smile on my face.
Every girl child has a dream of starting up a family. Where is this putting our Madiina? Madiina, I had a dream of handshake with president. I know your dreams are higher. We dream
Very
the same, eh?
high.
They are high, eh?
Of course, I'm a human being too, so I dream of that day when I'll start my own family.
Your own family, have your own children,
My husband,
your husband.
my kids, and I want my first kid to be. If it's a girl, I want her to be white like me. But I don't know if that's actually
Hey.
possible. But trust me, I've met persons with albinism who are mothers,
And that kid
but they
can-
have black kids.
Then you'll be like-
Surprisingly, I'll be like, oh.
Aww, I wish I would have
But
a
it's
white
okay.
one. Then you're going to leave this other comment or advice to someone out there who is on the life I live to know that even with albinism, you can still have a handshake with Museveni.
Well, my first word is going to first persons with albinism out there who have not got an opportunity to be on an interview like me. You know, this is big. It's not that
Yes.
everyone gets such an opportunity. And I want to say thank you to you guys. So you're out there. I know we come from different aspects of life. I am going to be honest, we are not well off in my family. Because I'm at campus because I got a government sponsorship. Yes? And you're out there, you don't have, I mean, your parents are not stable financially. Don't lose hope. You know, life is funny at some point. Don't lose hope. There is still hope for you. You can be what you want to be if you believe in yourself. I know some persons with albinism have this issue of okwesa seed at some point. They think they can't do it. Some don't want to interact with other people in their communities, not because they're discriminated, but they put that
Fear.
fear in themselves. That's not right. You're going to miss out opportunities out there when you have that feeling
Fear in
in you,
you.
that fear in you. So you should rise up and try to speak up.
They always say when you hear it from a host's mouth, it's much better. She has made it so clear, even with albinism, she can still work with any organization. So it's the dream here that takes you there. It's me for you or you for me. And here we believe I can, you can, she can, we can. You're on the life I live. Go and try anything out there, provided it brings food on your table. And to the society out there, please, if someone comes out to you and needs something, you lose nothing giving it out. Let's learn to give it equal rights. You can hire a person with albinism, provided they're qualified. You can also hire me, provided I'm qualified. You are on the life I live. Every Monday, 8:30 UBC. I'm signing out for today. Next Monday, same time, same television.
Like the sea